one of the caretakers said that the most of the people who comes here, they comes with the check-ins. Nobody actually willing to help them, and they were so happy to attend on these trainings because it's not demanding to do some things, like not checking. It was like, oh, not saying, oh, why it's not clean, or was not doing this and that, like, oh, you're like such a bad caretakers. It makes you happy to see that people actually wants to come because of us. I mean, of course, because of the trainings as well, but who trains?
Yes, she kept saying we had an aura about us. There was something about
positive,
us.
light,
Happy. That was really cool.
Один момент вообще относительно всех детей. Я всегда их считал такими.
One moment I remember about all the kids, I thought they're like nothing. They cannot do anything. And if he's a bedridden kid, he will be bedridden for the rest of his life. But at the end of this time, when I tried to do something to place their feet, I saw they can walk. And I realized that we can do it even though we aren't doctors. We can come, we can do something for these kids, we can help them walk to develop. Through this, I want to encourage other people, my friends. For me, it was a shock when the therapist showed how to work with the legs, and when I saw the kids that have never walked before, they stood on their feet and they started balancing. I want to tell this to everyone, and maybe they would also come. Maybe this will encourage those who are medical students. I mean, it's possible. They can walk. You just need to push more.
Нужно только прикладывать усилия.
The most interesting thing was when we were on our way there. I was thinking about serving and helping, but I didn't expect that I would like the kids and they will like me back. And even Alina, who couldn't pronounce my name correctly, she couldn't say Aisulu. She called me Abubu. She was chasing me everywhere. And Bermit, who cannot walk but can understand everything and feel how she would hug me and say I love you, was so touching. When the kids just smile, and when you come back the next day and they recognize you, they speak to you, they greet you, recognize you, ask you questions, I think that is what I will never forget. It will stay with me forever.
Я был в шоке от того, что в каких они живут условиях.
I was in shock by their condition, how dirty they were. They didn't have anyone looking after them very well. Concerning the kids, while we were preparing, I thought it would be hard. My first impression was that it was going to be more difficult than we prepared for. I was scared and didn't know what to expect. I got lost. But by the end of the week, it turned out okay and we could do most of what we planned.
Actually, because Nazira did such a good job at translating, it really wasn't hard working with the parents or with the caregivers. When we were out in the courtyard hanging out with the kids, that was difficult because they were running up all these spontaneous words and I had nothing to offer them. That was difficult.
Если честно сказать, я думала, они так воняли первый день.
If I'm honest, I thought they stunk. Yeah, that's true. They stunk so much. I thought we couldn't do it. I thought I couldn't make it. But I got used to the smell. That's very good. I got used to it after some time.
I think there were a few times too when we would be talking with the nurses or the parents and we would relate it to how it was in the United States, and it was like, well, they don't even have that experience. I can't think of anything exactly right now, but you just had to go, oh, well, it was driving and, well, if you want to relax, take a walk. You know, we're like,
well, wait a minute, you walk everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like we drive and it's like we go home and we walk, It's like, that doesn't do anything, it was certain things like that. So that was
I did have to think about that. I was like, the things that would automatically come out of my mouth, I had to decide if that was even appropriate for this culture and this place. So.
Also, in the orphanage, the major people was Kyrgyz people, and they was requesting to translate into Kyrgyz, but there was three women they are Russians, and they've been asking to translate into Russian. I was a bit confused, but also mixed a lot.
Самое тяжелое для меня это было то, когда...
The hardest for me was when we were leaving. I just realized how much I got used to them. I really began to like them during these 6 days. Personally, it was very hard to leave, and I don't know what is God's plan, but I hope to come back again.
Ну, вы знаете, вот, допустим, вот то же самое, что я и говорила, да, вот это вот.
You know, for example, I already mentioned that these type of kids have become normal to us, and we don't judge them. Our perception has changed, and we don't pity them. I think this is the worst feeling for someone, to pity them, and we're not going to have this feeling anymore. We'll treat them just like all the other kids, and I think that's a very big plus. I think this will influence us positively.
I think definitely a greater appreciation for the diversity of people in the world. And obviously Kyrgyzstan, without Jim and Melissa, I would hardly even know it was here. And so knowing that it's a real place with real people, with a real identity, and their own unique way of putting their world together and making it make sense for them, even though it's so foreign for me, to know that they're doing the best they can, just like we're doing the best we can in our country, and that God would bless them, and that we can be a part of that blessing to help them become all that they're supposed to be here. Not that they should want to leave, that they should want to be different. They need to be who they are here. And hopefully that's what we did in the meetings, in the classes.
Ну, то же самое, что и мы говорили.
What I have mentioned already, we changed our point of view, and we hope we'll participate in such projects more. We hope that we'll help these kind of kids more. That's what I hope for, honestly. Before this, we didn't know about them and other people's problems, but now we know, and we saw more deeply and understand their problems.
Ну, когда я увидела их, у меня больше такое сердце было, что нужно больше благодарить.
When I saw them the first time, I had a feeling that I should be more thankful to God, that we can walk and live. Sometimes we complain about our lives. I don't have this and I cannot do that. But watching them, I saw how many things we do have, and that we shouldn't stop looking forward. Set goals, help others, and be more thankful. I'd like to help them to bring joy to their hearts. The first time when I saw these kids, I had a big offense and disappointment in God. Because how could God, who loves them, tolerate something like this? So many kids in so much pain that they have to endure. And I thought the whole time of the trip that I will blame God. For some reason I was scared of that. During this time I changed my attitude towards this situation. First I realized that God does tolerate this, and I accept that if God did this, He did it in a way that He decides. And I should just love them like God does. Of course, I can't love them the same as God, but I can give a bit of joy a bit of love, and try to at least do something for them. Because I understand that that's what God wants me to do. During these 6 days, I changed my opinion and my attitudes towards God.
Dirty